opportunity to be here today. I really appreciate it. And as I stated, my mission is to make pioneers out of entrepreneurs. And in a difficult time like this, I want to help in any way I can to provide direction, guidance to not only sustain, but thrive in a period like this when, there's a lot of uncertainty, chaos, confusion. And, how do you do business when you feel like it's shut down? So, there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of places you can actually thrive right now. So I'm going to share the 7 secrets that will give them a framework on how to thrive. Just a little bit about me. I came to this country with empty pockets. I worked 5 jobs to pay my own tuition, and then I graduated with 20 grand in savings. Now, most students graduate with debt. I came in with empty pockets, walking out with savings. So the entire financial world was after me. And that's where I started, helping entrepreneurs in the financial services sector. So after that, a lot of clients asked a lot of favors. And one day, one client of mine told me, you do more for me on the whiteboard in 1 hour than 10 meetings discussing money. And that's, he wrote me a check for $3,000. And that's where the whole passion for coaching, consulting, management consulting, training, everything started. And that's where I started building it in 2015. Now, since 1997 to 2015, I've been, in the financial services, been honored as the #1 company in the insurance services category, and also been the top agent in Sports Illustrated and Time Magazine. Now, as part of this, I also became the only state-funded business accelerator to get companies the maximum amount of grants, up to $200,000 that they can get on top of all of these grants that they're receiving. So I'm the only state-funded business accelerator that can get businesses the maximum amount of grant to help them achieve their 3-year goal in 1 year. So my whole mission is to help entrepreneurs like yourself and others, help you achieve your 3-year goal in 1 year and have the government pay for it. Does that sound good?
That sounds fantastic, and we appreciate that. Let's dive in, Bimal. The floor is yours.
So let's go into all the key 7 steps. So step number 1, you need to understand and face your fears. When you face your fears, you feel like you're frozen and you feel you don't know what to do. So, you don't need the brain of Einstein, you don't need the reflexes of Dan Patrick, and you don't need the muscles of Hercules. You just need to know what to do. So you need to figure out and face your fears. So you need to write down your fears and create an action plan. And I'm giving you the steps on how to create that. You need to actually write your fears down in the event of this, and write the sentence, I don't know what to do. That's basically you being honest with yourself. And then you write down, to prevent such and such, these are the actions that I would take. Now, if you have difficulty coming up with the actions, that's where I come in. The second step is key focus on cash flow. If you're not focusing on your cash, no matter how much motivation you get, no matter how much meditation, no matter what else you do mentally and psychologically, if you run out of cash, game's over. So it's very, very important that you keep an eye on your cash flow. And cash flow, when you're in business, when you have cash flow, you feel like king, you feel like you're in heaven. But when you don't have cash flow, you feel like it's hell. So, right? Would you feel the same way?
Absolutely.
Right. So now here's how you get a windfall. So if you want to, apply for the PPP, if you haven't applied, we have the only fast track 3-step, PPP processing in place. If you haven't done it, we can take care of it. And we also can get you all the other types of grants. There's $200,000 per company, $500,000 per company, $12,000 per employee, and some custom industry specific grants. And we guarantee results with both done together. If you have difficulty coming up with cash, my business is approved through PayPal. And it's 6 months, same as cash. So you don't have to make any payments, no interest. And, I can start working with you right away without you having to worry about coming up with the funds out of pocket. Now, How do you generate cash flow? Very, very important to focus on the new and now. New and now is things that you haven't done before, or things that you never tried before, or things that you never thought of before. So these are things that you have to do right now. So these are ways, there are three key categories. You have to discover new methods of doing the same thing that you were doing before. And I'll tell you a story. So this was a stone and granite company where we created a 4-step system of virtual visits, and plus, transfer guarantees, relaxed deposit, and extended holds from 5 days to 90 days. With all of this, the people started making appointments and paying money, and this was, where they expected zero revenues, now they're expecting, much higher source of revenue every single month. The second is focus on the now needs of your customer. So what do they need right now? What is it that they need right now that they could utilize your help and your services, or what you could provide with your skill set right now? And the third is you don't have to do anything different, but think about whatever you're doing, maybe you can position it differently to make it a now need. So this is how you can generate cash flow. You have to start with a 90-day profit and loss statement. Once you start building a 90-day dream come true profit and loss statement, you need to convert it into an actual daily focus on cash flow. So this is the amount of money I need to make every single day to not run out of cash. So this is what you say, I need to make 1,000 a day, 5,000 a day, 10,000 a day, whatever that number is, and you're constantly honing in what can I do short term and long term. So long term is something that may not help you generate that money right now, but when it does succeed, it may open up a whole flurry of a new source of revenue stream, and it will open up new doors of ongoing revenues that you never expected before. So the step number 3, you want to build a 90-day blueprint. So I have a whole process on how to build a 90-day blueprint to thrive. And this will be a complete 90-day plan, structure, step-by-step process, month by month, week by week, who needs to do what by when. And that blueprint is what you just now focus and execute every single day. So very, very key. It helps you build focus. So this is kind of like the blueprint questions that we help you build. Step number 4, you need to have a vision. We can't go anywhere without a vision. So we can't be driving around. So let's say if you keep on changing lanes in Miami to get to some place, where will you end up, Hezekiah?
We probably in the boondocks where you don't expect.
It's the same thing with your life. If you drive without direction and without a goal and without an endpoint, without a vision, you will not get where you want to. So you need to know exactly where you want to go and think about, is the road that I am on, is the path that I am on going to get me where I want to go? So you're just not going to have, one vision. You're going to have multiple visions. You can have a 3-year vision, 5-year moonshot, and a 25-year character vision. I help you build all of these 3 in written documents in front of you every single. Look at it. Am I on track on my 3-year vision? Progress towards my 5-year moonshot? Am I building my character up to who I want to be 25 years from today? So you're thinking short term and long term every single day. We all know that imagination is more powerful than knowledge. So this is secret number 5. You need to use your imagination now more than ever. You need to imagine. The whole world has happened because of imagination. So there are 7 key aspects of imagination. One is we got to think outside the box. So you need to write this down. This question, what if we could? Start a sentence with what if we could, and then just stare at those words and see what comes out of your head and write it down. What if I could? What if we could? What if I could? And just keep asking and thinking about that question and fill in the blank. And then you will get some crazy ideas. And yes, you have to be crazy to be successful, not just in in current times, but in all times. I mean, all the people who have been really, really successful have been crazy in one way, shape or form. So crazy doesn't mean that kind of crazy, but it means that you're entrepreneurial crazy, you're passionate, you're obsessed with success. Improve your processes. Take a big look at everything that you're doing from start to finish. Step 1, step 2, step 3. So I have a whole system called the Process Innovator. By the way, I have more than 200 thinking tools that I've created. Each one of these tools help you think in the right direction. And these, when, all the success you want is just take your 2 fingers, put it right here. That's where it is. Everything that you want in life is between those 2 fingers. So all I do is with my tools is help you extract that from your head and put it on paper, and then we execute step by step to make it happen and make it real. So I have those thinking tools, and those thinking tools, one of them is the Process Innovator, which helps you, build successful processes. Third is utilize technology. Don't walk away from technology. Now is the time to think about technology. Like, there are companies who don't know the power of all these platforms, whether it's Dropbox, whether it's Office 365, whether it's Power BI, whether it's Zoho, whether it's your CRM, whether it's your Constant Contact. There's plenty of technology that's already been developed, including AI, augmented reality, so there is things that already exist. Take use of those things to see what you can do so you can free up your time from doing mundane things, because those systems and technology will do it for you. This is the time to find your niche. Like, who do I want to be a customer to? So don't think about what you do. Think about who you want to help, who you want to serve. So that's how you need to define your business. It's not what you do, but who you serve. When you think about who you serve, then you figure out what to do to serve the who that you selected. So you should have a very, very clear idea about who you want to serve. This is a time to make your customers successful. Don't think about how you get money, how you get paid. Think about how you can make your ideal customer successful. And that's how you reach out to them. This is a time you have to make buying easier for customers. For example, buying cars. If your car is coming up now, they have the whole system process digitized, where you can just go, you send an email, do 3, sign it, and then all you do is pick up your car at the dealer's place. It didn't exist before, but they were forced to do this right now. Why? Why couldn't they do it before? Right? Just because we are forced to do. So think of this whole thing. The corona is actually a blessing. Many of you may not look at it, but it's actually a message that for us to be productive with our time, that we could actually do so many things sitting in our home. And Hezekiah, you are an example. You previously thought that you had to go to places with your camera and every place to create a live cast and do all the things, when we discovered you could actually do this from the comfort of your own home, sitting in your own chair, right? Would you agree?
To a certain degree, yes. Mm-hmm.
So that certain degree helps you open up whole new world of possibilities that never existed before, right? So these are all the possibilities. And this is a time to review, make, all these forces and ideas work together. So don't think about the how. If you think about another word that you can make from how is who. If you use the same alphabets, H-O-W, and you try to jumble them up and you can make another word is who. So if you get stuck on the how, figure out the who. Don't waste your time on the how. I guarantee you someone has figured out the how. You may spend years and years and years, probably decades, to figure out the how, when you could have just gone to somebody who's already done it. So think about that and shorten your success curve. So instead of you spending 20 years, you could spend 2 months, to get where you want to. Third, secret number 6 is building focus. So I'll tell you a quick little story. Warren Buffett Bill Gates Sr. and Bill Gates Jr. They all three went in a restaurant at the same time. Extremely, extremely, extremely rare possibility, maybe 1 in a million chance that three of these people are at the same time in the same restaurant as the owner of Success Magazine. So he said, this is a rare happening. So I just want to go to them and ask a real quick question. So he says, I don't want to take up a whole lot of time, but I just want to ask one real question. If you had to attribute your success to one word, just one word, what would that be? Hands down, all three of them, less than a second, said focus. Focus is the key to success. If anything, whether you talk about cash flow, whether you talk about people, whether you talk about strategy, whether you talk about execution, culture, organization, marketing, sales, operation, everything stems from focus. If there is no focus, none of this happens. So very, very key. I have a 7-step system to help you build your focus in times of uncertainty. So we can help you do that. Last secret, think about the acronym COVID, okay, to help you succeed during COVID-19. Cash. Very, very important to keep an eye on your cash. What's your burn rate? What's your run rate? What's your runway? All of these terms, very, very key. That these are very important. How much cash you're burning every month? How much do you need to run to improve your cash flow? How long is your runway? 3 months, 6 months, 9 months? What do you need to do? What is your outgoing cash flow? Outgoing resources? Outgoing people? Outgoing thoughts? Everything that's outgoing, you want to take a step back and think about what's outgoing, because whatever you throw out is going to go out in the open world and it's going to create traction. So might as well take a step back and make sure that, okay, whatever it's outgoing, it's valuable for me and valuable for everyone else. Variable. These are entrepreneurs look at variable expenses and slash them like that. Just cut it out. It's variable, so I can cut it out. People, they're variable. So let me cut down my employees, lay off my staff. Not necessarily. This is the time to retain good employees, right? If they've been good for you, they've been really good. It's very hard to find really good people. So this is a time to retain really good employees. Marketing, you may cut out on marketing, and this may be the time to actually step up the plate and do some niche marketing so that you may get to the people that you want. So very, very important. Do not cut down your variable expenses, but restructure, reanalyze, and see how best I can stretch my dollar. How can I get a 10 times return on my money? And fixed expenses may not be fixed. I'll tell you stories. We all consider rent as a fixed expense. You consider rent as a fixed expense, Azakia?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. So most people do consider rent as a fixed expense, but it is not. You can actually talk to the landlord at a time like this. And if your lease is coming up for renewal shortly or within a year or 6 months, you can actually sit down on the table and negotiate. Hey, my business is down, this and this, I'm wanting to renew. I can extend another year or two if you can do something on the rent. And, your landlord, probably the owner, is going to look at, what am I going to do if this lasts too long? I can't even throw you out. It's COVID-19. So they may be more than happy to, willing to work with you. Incoming. Very, very important to focus on the incoming. Do not just do the same things you were doing before. If you only had one stream of revenue before, you think about, how can I add 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more streams of revenue, or even higher? Have multiple streams of revenue from different sources. And sometimes, even the slightest little revenue source, maybe it's, $5, $10, $20, whatever. But when it scales, it can become a huge number. And it can be a recurring revenue model for you. So do not discount the possibility of, small revenue sources, because they can turn into large revenue sources if the system continues to work. This is the time to make swift decisions. This is not the time to hold back your decisions. You need to be extremely, extremely decisive. And if you're going to say, I'm going to think about it, that may be too late. So do not, if this is a decision that's going to impact you now or even in the future, take the time out to make a decision, whether yay or nay, doesn't matter, but you need to be decisive and you need to be swift. This is not the time to postpone it. Let this just get over. This may not get over. This may be a lifestyle for another 3 to 6 months. What if it gets over, people go out and the numbers go from 1.3 to 2 million and we are back in our homes again.
Right.
Right? You
right.
You never know where you may have to take a turn. There's so much uncertainty, and the numbers in the US are the highest compared to everywhere else in the world because you never had an official lockdown. We never had a true lockdown where people were locked down. As a result, the numbers are rapidly spread. So we never know what's going to happen. So it's take this as a way of life and do not think about the future. Think about how can I make the best of today? If today was my last day, how would I, what would I do? If today I had to make it the best out of my day today, what would I do today? So think about today as make it a great day every single day. Now, this is basically, I had in a quick snapshot the 7 secrets to thriving during and after COVID-19. Hope people find this of value, and they, if they want to reach out to me, I have launched my book, The Scary Times Book. They can get it at bit.ly Scary Times Book. And the other thing is, if you wanting to get these grants, which is free money, you don't have to pay back. So many of people are asking me this question. I say grant means something that you do not have to pay back. It is something that you get to utilize it, and you get to keep it. It's not a loan. And these grants do exist. So very, very important for businesses or anyone who's watching this to say they could access these grants through me and get the maximum grants. They're on top of what they have received through PPP or COVID-19 or SBA. The SBA is a loan. The PPP, if you use it for payroll, you can turn it into a grant. But these are different grants. They're training grants, things that exist from the state, which I can get from 200,000, 500,000 per company that they could utilize, and I can help them get these grants and utilize these resources in these current times. So hopefully.
And you also spoke a little on these grants on the last time we had you on the show. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like a little more information, I definitely recommend for you to reach out to Bimal. The number, it was just on the screen a second ago. In the bottom of your video, you're going to be able to see all the information available to reach out to Bimal. His number there, 954-579-1254. That's 954-579-1254. You can also reach him at theoneyearbreakthrough.com. I encourage you to purchase his book. Also, if you have a business, you have employees, definitely the grants now is definitely where you want to go and take a look at. Bimal, a question for you before we close here. So we definitely have an opportunity with this situation, an opportunity to pivot. Whether it's in our lifestyle, in our business, in our personal approach to life, what would you say to those who are currently employed, but may have, let's call it, an entrepreneurial vision? You were talking about vision a little while ago, but again, you talked about fear, right? And these exercises are out there, and people go to conference all the time. Yet the change is not there. What would you say to somebody right now that's in this situation? They're an employee, but they have the opportunity to go into business on their own and unlock the potential.
So I would say the number one job of anybody in that situation, the number one job of any entrepreneur on this planet is to go out there and get a check. Okay, so you have to find the check writers. So before you visualize what you want to do, you have to visualize your ideal target audience that you want to serve. I want to serve business owners. I want to serve technology. I want to serve educators. I want to serve teachers. I want to help, people in this type of industry. So you have to first identify your target audience. You should choose who you want to serve. Now, you maybe say that I want to serve the entire mass audience. Okay, I want to serve the entire world population. That's great. Start with your local market. If that's your dream, if that's your vision, you have to succeed local first, but think global, but start local. Once you succeed local and build a community and you build traction, you build credibility, people are having videos, people are sharing what they talk about you and they talk about it to other people, then, you can go global. Now, there are certain models, this would not apply, like, let's say if you're raising capital or you're going on, crowdfunding and you're going on other places, that's a different type of entry into the marketplace, and there's a whole different model and subset, planning and pitch deck and everything that you need to structure and set in order to do that, and that's a whole different business model. But if you are just like anybody else and you have an idea and you just want to get started, I would say get, at least at a bottom line, get 3 people to buy into your idea. Once you have 3 people who are not related to you, not your friends, not your family, not your relatives, but there's complete strangers who bought into what you have to offer, then you have something. If you have 3 people who are complete strangers who buy into what you have to sell, then you have something that you can expand and grow. So that's where I would get started.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Mr. Bimal Shah, you can reach out to him to the links that are to the bottom of the screen. We're going to add all his information there so you can reach out to him. Bimal, once again, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, your information, and your experiences here on Lav Media TV. And we look forward to speaking to you very soon.
All right. So what I'll do, Hazaki, is I'll send you an email with all the links so you can post it and share it if anybody wants specific. These will be specific resources to building vision, execution strategy, the book, the grants, everything. So I'll send you those links and you can post them wherever you like and share them with people so they can, for specific resources, they can go to specific things that they want.
Sounds fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Hezekiah Morales with Lav Media TV, and we look forward to speaking to you soon. We hope this was able to add value to you, and we hope that you're able to reach out to Mr. Bimal. And we are all looking forward to continuing our climb to success. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks.